So the first speech is Drew Tompkins, the best man. Big round of applause. Not yet? No, not yet. Just a bit of history on Jacob and Drew. They've met over 18 years ago when they played basketball. And then they attended high school together and maintained that strong friendship over many, many years. And I know Drew is very honoured to be asked to be best man tonight, and obviously him and Jacob are good mates. But on the Buck show a few weeks ago, I was I don't know whether they are good mates, because the pain inflicted by Drew onto poor old Jacob was, Ross and I had to go home early. We couldn't handle it anymore. But one good thing, Jacob, you'll get your payback one day, but that's if Drew ever commits to a relationship. Which ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Drew Tompkins.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, mate.
I gotta hold that door. Any buttons?
You just push some buttons. That's still working?
What's going on there? Thanks for the shout out, guys. You can leave now, Jake. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for being here. On behalf of Jacob and Lisa, I know it means awfully a lot to them. Also to parents Alex, Tracy, Johnny, cheers for coughing up tonight. So as you're aware, I'm Drew, Jacob's best mate, and today's best man. They seem to have slotted me on nice and early. Not sure if that's to do me a favour with my nerves or the lack of trust, because they know what will happen if I get a few more drinks in me. When Jacob first asked me to be his best man, I was incredibly honoured. To be chosen to be part of today and stand by him isn't something I take lightly and will remember forever. The timing and scene, however, of how he asked me isn't quite as special. Middle of OBH dance floor, Sunday afternoon, about 12 years deep, and being told I wasn't the first person he asked. That was just a joke. But I will add, it was awfully fitting for our friendship. Now, to get to today, the best man's duties haven't been easy. I can confirm Jacob has been more concerned about the way he looks than Elise, and also lacks the ability to make any decisions, although we've made it. On that note, I'd like to say how beautiful Elise and her bridesmaids looked, as well as the boys, the groomsmen, and Jacob especially, looking a lot better than that pink number he was running around the other few weeks ago in the city. So far, must say today's been incredible. The perfect setting for two incredible people. During the week in speaking to Jacob, he's only been excited. No nerves shown, a fair bit of confidence in his decision, as one would hope. Today has been no different. He hasn't been able to wipe the smile off his face. He has come home strong and got the job done. But I'm going to claim that's thanks to my assistance. And now to Jacob, the friendship that goes back some 18 years, from when we were first kids, spending our weekends playing basketball, running around. Thank you for this opportunity to finally dig up some dirt and reveal your true self to your friends and family, and ruin that perfect image that everyone has. No, I won't do that, but we've had some incredible memories over the years. From thinking we were stunt drivers, taking your car out to the back of a Dinello and doing jumps. To Wednesday nights, thinking we could pick up women by dancing in cages at Leaderville. To only grow up and mature and spend endless weekends at Hibbie Club trying to do the same. To the days of unemployment and spending summer playing cricket in James's front yard, and you spending whatever dollars you had on to punt on the horses. And probably the best times, when Elise kicked you out. I got to have my best mate on my couch for a couple of months. I can only say that because it's all come good now. But Jacob, there is a reason why you're best mate. It's partially because I'm still trying to beat you in any form of sport since you picked me in the line in that Year 5 inter-school race. But more so, you are the loyal, trusting, my go-to for advice, outgoing and always fun mate that has been there ever since I was a kid. I'm sure the memories will continue to come over the years. Now Elise, that girl that first popped onto the scene as Jacob's camp cuddles up in the Pilbara. Hasn't this come a long way? When Jacob first met you, I remember him trying to play it down, but always noticed he had some excitement in his voice as he would tell me about the office girl that used to make the special trips down to pick him up from the airport. Things eventuated, and the point I knew it was something special when he decided to stay in Perth and test his relationship instead of coming to Europe on a boys' trip with me. You won that round. Before I knew it, you had Jacob spending his weekends at organic markets, renovating a house, owning some 5 cats, several dogs, horses, and whatever animals you could find on the rescue websites. You're an incredible woman, Elise, caring, fun, kind-hearted, and over the years have become a big part of my life as well. No doubt there are many great things ahead of you both as you enter this new chapter of your life. Jacob getting in more trouble, kids, travel, but hopefully no more cats. For the most, I look forward to the years and memories I'll get to share with you both as you move forward. So usually at this point, the best man offers some words of advice for the newlyweds. But let's be honest, for those in the room that know me, you would agree I'm probably not the right person for that. So instead, I will say, just keep doing what you're doing. As with every time I'm around you both, I see how incredibly happy you make each other and how you at least bring out the best in Jacob. Finally, I ask you all to raise your glasses. Jacob and Elise, I wish you all the best in marriage and for many happy years ahead. This is just the beginning and the best is yet to come. Cheers.
Well done, mate. Well done, Drew. Fantastic. Words from the heart. Next, we have the maid of honour, Michelle Pezzipinci. How's that sound? That's very good. Elise and Michelle have been friends for more than 20 years. Michelle has been there for Elise in all parts of her life, both the good times and the ones that aren't so good, I suppose. A real true friend. I remember when they were younger and Michelle was always about 2 foot taller than Elise in some of the photos we saw a couple of weeks ago. So a big welcome for Michelle. Just hold it like that at the bottom. Not
Okay.
on the top, not on the top, on the bottom.
Can you hold my
Yeah. Cool.
Cheers for the song choice, Elise and Jacob. Don't know about that. Good evening, everyone, and hello. For those who don't know me already, which I think you just got a pretty good introduction, I'm Michelle, or as the Vieira family have been calling me for years, Mish, and Elise and I have been in each other's lives since 1998. When I met Elise, my first thought was, oh my God, she's the smallest Year 4 girl I've ever seen. And for anyone who knew me back then, you'll know that was also the tallest 8-year-old girl you'd ever seen. So as you can imagine, we were a pretty odd-looking match, but nonetheless, we bonded from day one, and she ended up being my best friend. And now here we are today. Elise has a heart of gold, and throughout almost 20 years of friendship, we've faded in and out of each other's lives throughout changes in careers and jobs, travel, relationships, homes, and other circumstances. But regardless of the times we're on different pages of life, I've always known that Elise and I were best friends, and we'll both turn to each other in times of need or to seek advice. No matter what day, week or month it is, Elise and I will always pick right back up where we left off. We've shared some awesome experiences together from primary school and high school, leavers and parties, trips to Gracetown, Bali, and eventually living together. Elise has also had many hobbies and hidden talents, which quickly became goals and dreams, from netball to gymnastics and horse riding, and her love for all animals and fur babies. Whatever Elise puts her mind and heart into, she excels at, and her passion and commitment to these goals and dreams meant she always exceeded expectations and had amazing results. This comes across in her commitment to the dream of her starting a little family, much like the one she grew up in. And because of this, I have no doubt she's going to make the most devoted mother and wife in the future. As we all know and predicted back in school, girls, you can vouch for this, we all said that one day you'd be a little domestic goddess, an amazing partner and wife, and made bets that you'd be the first to get married and have kids. So I think you need to pay up, girls. Thank you. I'm so glad back in Year 4, Elise, that you sat next to me on the first day of school, even though I was a giant and always looked like your big sister instead of your best friend. And I'm so glad you're finally living your dream of having your beautiful home, husband, and eventually starting a little family, always like you told me you wanted. And just like Trace, I know one day you're going to make the most wonderful mother, and I'm so excited to share that journey with you too. For the time Jacob has been in Elise's life, I've always felt content knowing that she's safe and getting the love and happiness that she truly deserves. So Jacob, I'd just like to say, from the bottom of my heart, I could not picture a more perfect person for Elise. Jacob, as we all know, is such a genuine, caring and gorgeous guy, but above all, the love that he shares for Elise is what makes him top of the line in my eyes. I'm so excited to see you two start your life together as a married couple. a gorgeous little family together, no more fur babies please, and growing old together. So if you could all please raise your glasses to the beautiful couple. I wish you guys all the love and happiness in your new chapter of your life. Cheers. Cheers. Thank you. Love you.
Well done, Michelle. Fantastic. Next up, sister of the bride, Samantha Vieira. Where do I start with Sammy? From her younger days with one eyebrow. From me dropping her at school at Penrose with her backpack tangled up in a skirt and her knickers showing as she walked into class. Hiding UDLs under her bed when she slept over. Getting drunk, drinking water down south when Auntie Kerry and Auntie Sue told her it was vodka. Asking how my dad was coping after Mum's passing, even though my dad passed 3 years previous to that. It's drama after drama in her life. But one asset she does have is that she brightens everyone's day. If you're having a bad one, Samantha just brightens you up and changes everything. So everyone, fasten your seat belts. Here comes Sammy. Just hold it down the bottom there, all right? Just like that, yeah, that's it.
Hi everyone. Probably don't need the microphone. And my speech isn't as wild as Uncle Brad made it out to be. As you may know, I'm the very proud little sister of the bride tonight. And for those that know Elise and I, you would know that we didn't get along very well, if at all, growing up. Thankfully, for our parents' sake, our relationship improved as we got older. However, personality-wise, the saying chalk and cheese couldn't be any more accurate. Growing up with an older sister, I've come to learn many things. One of them being that you'll never have only just one wardrobe, and when it comes to borrowing clothes, always deny until proven guilty. More importantly though, I think it's safe to say that she definitely taught me the meaning of unconditional love. I think we've finally perfected our older sister, younger sister dynamic after all these years, and luckily nowadays, your closet is my closet and my closet is yours. Elise, now that I'm older and somewhat more mature, I realise just how lucky I am to have you, and I promise to always be your number one fan and your biggest supporter in life. Although Jacob was not what Elise usually went for in previous boyfriends, he set the expectations high when I first met him. During his FIFO lifestyle, the guy went out and bought me a $300 Mimco bag for my 18th birthday after only meeting me twice. He might not have had mum and dad's stick of approval yet, but he certainly had mine. Even if he did only do it to impress Elise like he admits now. Jake, it was easy to consider you family even before today, and I'm so thankful for you and everything that you do, especially for loving my sister despite some of her more questionable qualities. You truly are one of the leading men in my life, and I consider myself the luckiest girl in the world to have gained a big brother like you. Finally, congratulations. I couldn't be happier that you two have chosen each other to spend the rest of your lives together. I love you both individually for so many different reasons, and I'm so excited to see what the future holds for the two of you and our crazy family.
Well, we didn't know what to expect from Sammy, but that was fantastic, Sam. Well done. I think there's a few tears around the room there, so there was early days in the relationship. It was very tumultuous, wasn't it? So anyway. Yeah. But now the special speech, the father of the bride. Johnny Vieira. Oh, not yet, Johnny, not yet. And nearly the most important person in the room because he's paying for the drinks tonight. So drink up, party hard, especially table 9. I know you're doing a good job already. And also, I'd like to say how good Tracy looks tonight. She looks fantastic and mostly deserves a medal living with Johnny, putting up with Johnny all those years. Because Johnny's so perfect. I've known John for over 50 years, I suppose. We both attended Wycombe Valley Primary School together, along with Ross Sweetman, our other brother-in-law. So, a bit unusual, 3 guys go to school together and marry sisters, so I don't know what happened there. But he was a little pest at school, and I think he's used that trait in a very successful business career, and with that never give up attitude. So well done, Johnny. But I haven't finished yet. So most of us know that JV does subscribe to Men's Health magazine. And Ross, it's not the story I'm telling you about, it's a different story. And he's forever having medical procedures. Even if he hasn't got anything wrong with him, he has it before he does get it. So he makes sure he doesn't get it. But one particular day he visited his doctor, and he's got his own personal parking spot at the doctor's because he goes there that often. So he went in one day, and new doctor now, Dr. Denisi, nice guy, and the doc said, "What's wrong, John? What's wrong this week?" And he said, "Doc, I don't know what's wrong. Every time I touch my body, I scream in pain. I don't know what's wrong with me. Whatever part I touch, I scream, I scream, I scream." And Doc said, "Well, show me, John." So John poked his stomach, let out this almighty scream. The doctor's looking at him. Then he poked himself in the neck, another almighty scream. Then he poked himself in the groin, another almighty scream, but he does that quite often, as we know. And the doc looked him up and down and said, "John, I think I know the problem." And John said, "What's wrong? What's wrong? Is it operable? Will I survive? Will it be okay?" And the doc said, "You've got a broken finger, John." Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Boom Boom Vieira.
Thank you, Bradley. Yeah. I'm not sure where the humour comes in that, but anyway. I've only got 35 minutes, you said, didn't you?
45.
Thanks, Brad. Yeah. Oh, okay. Where do I start? Well, I suppose I need to welcome everybody, and it's a great venue. It's a great day, and for me as a proud father, and also for Trace as a mother. But I need to thank probably Trace to start off the day, because clearly if it wasn't for her, it's probably pretty much impossible for me to stand here tonight in this beautiful venue and its surroundings as the proudest father ever. And I need to compliment also Elise on organising her wedding so meticulously. Her attention to detail, her planning and following up to give us this magnificent day to celebrate their marriage. And I think she probably takes after a father in those sorts of skills, but anyway. A big thank you, I think it's been mentioned earlier on, for those who've travelled far and wide. We've got friends from the East Coast, up the northwest in the Pilbara and all those sorts of places, and even as far as the United Kingdom. So thank you for being here for Elise, because I know Elise and Jacob are very much appreciative of that. And it's also wonderful to see so many familiar faces, and some not so familiar, but I rocked up here at the beginning, and also at the park there, and I'm going, I don't know this bloke, and I don't know that person, all that sort of stuff. But a bit of truth serum, as the truth serum gets poured out, we also seem to be more and more family orientated. So by the end of the night, the melting pot will be complete, no doubt. But anyway, I look at my beautiful, gorgeous daughter tonight in her stunning wedding dress, and I can't help think and reflect on the little girl that she once was and the woman that she's now become. And, really, we've all, for the fathers in the room, and I'm sure there's many who've got their little princesses, but Elise became her daddy's girl on the day she was born. And I can remember distinctly walking back from Adderdale Hospital on the evening she was born, and I'm going like, wow, I'm a dad. Where's the fucking manual? Shut the front door. I had 9 months to get my head around this stuff, and suddenly, it's game on. I got no idea. I really got no idea what lies ahead or what to do. Because daughters are different, as we all know, for the fathers in the room with daughters. But in saying that, Elise, you've always brought us love and happiness. Well, most of the time anyway. And while not every day's been perfect, the love we feel for you always has been. She's always had an attitude of compassion to those around her. And as many of you are aware, this carries through her love of animals, especially horses and cats and dogs and whatever else. It's got a heartbeat. Yes, Jacob, fast forward, mate. Like mother, like daughter. This is what you got to look forward to. Anyway, but throughout her school years, she was loved by all who knew her. And it was great for Michelle to just touch on that a little bit. But it's a real pleasure to witness the same school friends here today supporting her on her wedding day. So the Rat Pack and all the rest of the Penrose girls, good on you. Maybe have another drink. Now that sense of kind-heartedness reaches its apex in her life as it becomes focused on the one man with whom she's chosen to spend the rest of her life with. Putting the same energy, compassion and love into Jacob, and your marriage will result in a truly remarkable partnership. And Tracy and I are already hopeful that in the not too distant future, perhaps we will be blessed with little rugrats of the two-legged human variety. Because enough of this animal's caper, because I certainly ain't no David Attenborough. But today she joined hands with a wonderful young man, and in addition to the sparkle I always see in her eyes, I see a greater love and happiness there beyond anything that I've ever seen. Don't worry, Jacob, we haven't forgotten to mention you, mate. Tracy, Sammy, Lucas and I feel truly blessed to have you join our family. And to me, I've gained another son in you, Jacob. From early on in the courtship stage, we knew that Jacob was a keeper. He's a caring, compassionate, kind-hearted young man, always willing to give, and we knew he was the perfect match for our little princess. Jacob, you stepped into our family like there was just a spot waiting for you to fill, and you proved to be the perfect fit. But I certainly do recall putting out that recycling bin for Trace, certainly clinched it for you, mate, on a Sunday night. Elise and Jacob, you've completed today one as one another, and you become a family of your own. And as Elise's dad, I've been aware of this for over 26 years, as many of the fathers in this room probably get to think about over the journey. I can't say that I've been looking forward to it, because for most of those years I've worked hard to probably protect my little princess from the decisions that were probably a little bit too difficult for her to make in her younger life. But with the wedding day fast approaching, I had to start thinking about what the hell am I going to say in advice and wishes for my little girl and her new husband, Jacob. So here's my advice to you both, simply. Love constantly, accuse slowly, forgive quickly, and share everything. Be each other's friends, talk to each other about anything and everything, and leave behind any other relationship that might cause you to put another person ahead of the other. Open your hearts to each other, and always put your marriage first. Married life is an adventure, and as you embark on it today, that adventure starts together. Even though you're individuals, your promise today makes the couple more important than either of you separately. One day, if you're as fortunate as I have been, you'll stand in awe of a new life entering your family. That will be another beginning, filled with apprehension, anticipation, and excitement. Bring to that relationship the same level of love and commitment you do to your marriage, and you'll find happiness beyond compare. So make the most of your life, find the people you love and never stop loving them. One day they won't be around anymore, and the world will have moved too fast for you to say the things that you really wanted to say. Elise, you've brightened every moment of every day since you came into our lives, so enjoy your life, be happy and be loved. If you do that, you'll make me the proudest father alive. Now, Mr. and Mrs. McKeljic, your friends and family surround you as you begin something new and marvellous, and remember your promises, keep them with all your heart, and you'll have that sense of joy and wonder that exceeds all you've ever known. With all our hearts, on behalf of Tracy, Lucas, Sammy and I, we offer our congratulations and warmest wishes, as with everybody else in this room, as you begin the latest adventure in your life that it has to offer. So ladies and gentlemen, this couple before you are two amazing individuals, and today they become an even more amazing couple. So please raise your glasses to toast Elise and Jacob. May they experience every happiness imaginable and enjoy a wonderful life together as husband and wife. Thank you.
Well said, Johnny. Beautiful speech. I think that was take number 8, wasn't it? We changed a few words on it, but anyway. Sammy, you should get a copy of that so he doesn't use the same one at your wedding. Okay. Nick, did you hear that? Okay, mate. Okay, next up we have the mother of the groom, Alexandra McKelchek. I've only met Alexandra on a few occasions, and what a lovely lady she is, and she looks beautiful tonight. We can see where Jacob gets his caring ways from, but I did hear that the hens party that she did let her hair down a bit. So I don't know if that's true, Alexandra, but I've got photos. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Alexandra.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome, family and friends of Jacob and Alice's, of course, the most important friends here. Thank you for sharing the joy of the wedding of Jacob and Alice with me. Remembering 29 years ago, looking at Jacob's childhood, it makes me think of a well-known saying, it takes the village to bring up a child. Even though he loved his family, his big brother Mike and his big sister Maggie and Mum and Dad, as soon as he started walking, he walked away into the village and started experiencing and being with people. He just loved being around, being social, being experimenting and testing the boundaries and learning all the way as far as he could go. Jacob was a curious boy. Always happy to learn. Curiosity. Always happy to learn. Enjoyed studying, meeting new people, experimenting, experiencing companies, trying different sports. As soon as he mastered one, went to the next one. So he have learned many, many things along the way. And here he is today, well adjusted, friendly, happy, surrounded by family, as we love him very, very much, and expanding his family by marrying a lovely Alice today with a beautiful family by her side. So when as a young adult, Jacob decided to quit a city lifestyle, go and work in a mine. We were a little bit worried that he will not ever stop being single. We didn't think there will be girls in the Pilbara mining fields. So it was, to my, at least, great surprise to see that Jacob comes home one day and says, I met a girl in the mine, and her name is Alice. Surprise, surprise. And it was a lovely surprise. The next thing we know, Jacob comes home just before Christmas, I think 5 years ago, and introduces a pretty woman in an ice blue dress, and they look perfect together. They look happy, smiley, and we couldn't ask for anything else back then. Today, we enjoying the company of everyone in the marriage of Alice and Jacob. Starting back then, and ending here where we are. So it was a big move and big surprise back then to us, but it was a very pleasant surprise. The next thing we knew, Jacob was invited to, I think it was weekend down south with Alice's family. He comes back in love again with Alice's family. So, very, very happy ending to the introduction to the family. And of course, we are very happy to have you here today as we are. Wishing you a happy marriage as such, with love, happiness that you can create for yourself, and hopefully that you will build a foundation for a new family of your own. Thank you.
That was beautiful, Alexandra. Mrs. McKelchek, my niece Elise. Doesn't she look beautiful tonight? And well done to Tracy and the bridal party for getting her prepared for this evening. Was that Sam? So over the last 26 years, I've seen Elise develop into a beautiful young woman, even though there were a few rocky patches along the way, which most probably have made her stronger in life and someone who will make a great wife and in the future a fantastic mother. Today is a big day for her, and as it is getting married. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Elise McKelchek. Just grab her around the...
Okay, I can just talk like this?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
A bit closer to you.
Okay. So 6 weeks ago I thought giving a speech was going to be a fantastic idea, and now I'm not too sure, so you're going to have to bear with me. Firstly, I need to start off by saying the biggest thank you to our amazing MC, also known as my Uncle Brad. He has spent hours with Mum and me over the past few weeks making sure tonight would run smoothly. I couldn't imagine anyone else but you being my MC. Are you tearing up, Uncle B? Mum and Dad, where do I even begin to start? I am so lucky to have you both as my parents. You have picked me up off curbs many times throughout my life and have always been there for me with unconditional love, even when I have made some not so smart life decisions. Like most girls, I have dreamt of my wedding day for a very long time, and while you both have gone above and beyond to make it just perfect, it would mean nothing if I didn't have you both here today. While I may now be Mrs. McKelchek, I will always be your little girl. Alexandra, Magdalena and Michael, you have welcomed me into your family with open arms from the day that I met you. I have considered you all my family well before today, but now I am privileged to make it official. My two little princesses, Madison and Lila. You girls not only look beautiful, but you have done an amazing job at being my flower girls today, and I love you both so much. Michelle, to think our friendship began some 20 years ago in primary school, where you towered over me in every photo, to today where you stand by my side as my maid of honour. Thank you for organising my amazing hens party and helping in every way to plan this wedding. You are selfless, kind and put everyone else before yourself. No matter where our lives may lead us, you will always be my best friend, adopted big sister and the other half of me. Samantha. Big breaths. Opinionated, sassy, and demanding come to mind when trying to explain you. I definitely threw the "you may be my sister, but you will never be my friend" line your way over the many fights that we have had over the years. But I lied. You will always be the baby sister I adore and the friend that I couldn't live without. Thank you for trying on every bridesmaid's dress I threw your way and coming over every time I called for wedding-related activities. Jessie, you have travelled from London to be by my side, which just shows how much our friendship means to both of us. You have been such a help to me, even from the other side of the world, and then the last few days running around picking stuff up for me. We have travelled to amazing places together over the years, but having you here with me today is my favourite adventure yet. Where do I start with you, Drew? I am so lucky that Jacob has you in his life, and through Jacob, you are also now such a big part of mine. I haven't just gained a friend in you, I have gained someone to constantly stir up regarding the women in your life. A third wheel on all our crazy nights out, but most importantly, another member to my little family. You have received thousands of crazy Elise messages over the last few months, and I'm very surprised at how helpful you managed to be, so thank you. A few of you will know this, but for those of you who don't, growing up, I had a very long list of qualities and conditions that my future husband must possess and meet. A few dot points I had listed were: lives within a 10k radius of me, has a suit and tie city job, is a stand-up surfer like my dad. It's fair to say, Jacob, you met none of the above criteria. However, you did meet the points of lets me have all the animals I want, knows how to have a good time, has good family and friends, but most importantly, big muscles. It's fair to say the muscles have definitely shrunk inside over the years. However, Jacob is more perfect to me than any list I could ever write. Jacob, you drive me crazy. I label your drawers and you still can't manage to put your shirts in your shirt drawer. Your lack of a fair bit of motivation when it comes to housework, and your first kisses after you come home from work go to Billy the dog and Ari the cat. But I love you for it all because it makes you you. My little quirks always keep you on your toes, and you have finally learnt to embrace my crazy cat lady life. I can never put into words how amazing I think you are and how much I love you, but I promise I will spend the rest of my life trying. Finally, I cannot thank everyone enough for sharing this night with us. This day has been nothing short of amazing, and it wouldn't not be possible without you all, so thank you. And
Sorry, I've got to put my glasses on. Well done, Elise. What's wrong with you? I don't need tissues. 2 minutes. Okay, here we go. The groom speech. The groom speech. I've known Jacob since he started going out with Elise 5 or 6 years ago. Always found him to be polite, courteous. He loves kids. Although the first day we met him, I think it was a Christmas day, his handshake was a bit feminine, but we have toughened him up a little bit. So he does actually squeeze instead of wet fishy, but that's all right. But Jacob called me out the back early. He's got a new job. He told me he's got a new job. He's a aquathermal treatment of ceramics, aluminium, steel under a constrained environment. Now, I was pretty impressed with that. Then he told me he has to wash the dishes in front of Elise. So there you go. So Jacob, over to you, mate, for your big speech as a married man. and I'm sure you will enjoy it, won't you? At least would have written a speech. So.
That's Polish. That's Polish for something I won't repeat. Thanks, Brad, for the kind words. You're a funny man. These people have a simple humour, so lucky you. Thanks to everyone for the speeches. It's been great from Drew's through to Mum's and Johnny's and even Sam's, surprisingly. It's really good. So feeling very loved and very privileged to be here with you all. The love and support in the room is really special. I've only managed to get around to a couple of tables, but like it really hits home when you get here and get to see everyone. We've said that it's not often that we get everyone together. Unfortunately, that's the way it is nowadays with kids and people living interstate and overseas and everything like that. But from our side, the family, to have all the cousins, uncles and aunties and everyone together is pretty special. And on Elise's side, to have everyone down from up north and here together is a really good feeling. Elise, you're a superstar. Today wouldn't have come together the way it did without your planning and effort that you put in. I joked today about this being a surprise party for me because I had no idea what to expect. From the decorations to the bridesmaids' dresses to, well, I knew what the food was going to be. That was about it. But it really was almost like a surprise party. But she made all this happen, and I can't thank her enough for that. I'll say a quick few thank yous while I can. Thank you to our travelling guests. I think Johnny touched on a couple, but to my family, Antoinette, my godmother, and her husband Richard from Sydney. Thanks for making the trek over. Walshy, where's he? There he is, the big dog. From country New South Wales, thanks for making the trek. And more importantly, the people who came from overseas, Jamie and Jesse. We hope to have you home one day soon. To my groomsmen, thanks for all the support, not only today, but throughout the journey of our entire relationships. I feel lucky to have you all in my life, and I really felt that yesterday and today with the support and the distraction that I needed leading up to today. I don't think I felt any nerves having you guys around, probably until Elise stepped out of the car. So, yeah, that's a credit to you guys. Special thanks to Drew, my best man and my longest standing friend. Not sure how it's going to go after tonight, but thanks for not digging up too many truths and too many stories. I actually got off pretty scot-free, so thanks for that. Did a great job with the Bucks party. Putting his house up for it was a bit of a gamble, but it pulled off, even despite Aaron's best attempts at destroying the place. I know Elise can always count on you to lend a helping hand, and as she touched on before, the support you gave her with little decisions along the way that made it easier for her was really helpful. So I hope he gets married one day. I really do.
Commitment.
Yeah, there's a few issues we've got to sort through, but we'll get there. And most importantly, I want some revenge on the Bucks party and the speech, mainly. To the beautiful bridesmaids, huge thanks to the girls for your involvement in today and everything leading up to today. Your help has gone a long way. I know how much it means to Elise. I saw how she could turn to you guys for help as well with all the little things that would usually stress her out. The little decisions, the 1%ers that you guys helped with, that really made the difference. I can see why she chose each and every one of you to be with her today. To my mum, I probably don't say this enough, but thank you for everything. I know I can always turn to you whenever I need to, and I know now Elise can as well. It was no different when organising the wedding. You were always touching base with us and seeing how we're going and making sure that everything was travelling smoothly. Where was I? Here we go. Sorry. Most importantly, you were welcoming to Elise from the get-go. I know how much that meant to her and meant to me as well. Thanks to Mags for organising little Xander today. It was a bit touch and go whether he'd come down the aisle with the rings, but he came through, and thanks Max for organising that and helping him along the way. John and Tracy, I really can't thank you both enough for all that you've done for Elise and I. You've been the helping hand every step of the way throughout our relationship, and even more so, never more so than in the preparation for today. I know Tracy embraced every moment of the process, and without you helping Elise so much, today wouldn't have been so perfect. I'm lucky to have inherited you as my in-laws, and the beautiful girl I married today is a true testament to you both as loving, caring parents. I also inherited a brother and sister-in-law today. Lucas, who's the type of teenager you're lucky to get a word out of most of the time, and Sam's pretty much the opposite. You can't get her to shut up. Seriously though, Sammy, we love you. We love that you're such a big part of our lives, and even though we probably wouldn't trust you looking after our children, we definitely wouldn't have you any other way. And finally, to my wife, Elise. A million thank yous go to you. You look beautiful today, stunning. I did choke up when you walked down the aisle, and I was surprised at how breathtaking you looked. Somehow I managed to keep it together, but yeah. The amount of hard work you put in today is evident in how perfect it all was. Every little detail and all those hours was definitely worth it. You really did so much, and I'm so lucky to have you as the dedicated person you are. I wound it back about 5 or so years ago when Elise and I first started seeing each other. I was on the outer from the get-go, as Elise mentioned, with Sam and Elise having the house rule. No one within more than 10 kilometres radius of their place was allowed in the family. So I thought it was pretty weird, to be honest, but I'm not one to turn down a challenge. As it turned out, Elise was a little more challenging than I thought. And I might have bitten off more than I can chew. You throw in JV's hostility, and I might have been out of my league. But I persisted, and I've never looked back. Elise, thank you for being you. Thank you for being so patient with me, for looking after me, for always making me smile, for letting me get away with so much, and for always making me want to be a better person. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life loving you. As Johnny said, your compassion in life is to be admired, and it's one of the many things I love about you. Can everyone please raise their glasses to my wife, Elise, and to our next children only having 2 legs?